Hello YouTube, this is Matt here with a layout update. Now for those of you who actually follow me on various social media things like Instagram or Twitter or the Facebook page itself for this layout, you'll know that it will be hopefully appearing in a magazine at some point in the near future. The photography or photographer is coming at the end of this week, which is the 4th of August on the Friday. We're now, I think it's the 30th of July today, and this is the work that's been done so far. Quite a lot of work, to be honest with you, because the layout was actually in quite a bad state in terms of running and how it looked. It was looking quite tired, to be honest with you, and it needed quite a lot of work, but I'll take you through some of the changes and updates that I've done. As you can see, some of it's still in progress at the moment, but I'll take you through some of the things that I have done to improve the look, and also a few other little details dotted around to improve the look of it, and generally to show a next step in terms of development and also how it generally looks. So if we start with the trap work, you can pretty much see from this shot that the main platform lines 4 and 5, 3 and 2 have all been relaid. And the reason behind this was the original track work was steel. Now when this layout was indoors, steel wasn't the problem, it wouldn't rust. Sadly out here in the shed where it's a little bit damp, a little bit cold, it just rusts generally, and the fish plates between each rail joiner or each rail would rust, meaning poor connectivity, stalling, electrical issues, etc. So I took the decision back when I was back here in May that when I got told that it will be in a magazine, or hopefully will be in a magazine to end its career if you like, I would ensure that the track work was up to spec, and also that it could actually run and work, as there was a small possibility of actually being featured in a DVD or some sort of video at the end of the day. But so I needed to get it running again. So all the track from pretty much this end, which is where it goes out into the garden, again the outside section has been completely rebuilt over a week in May, so it's bigger, wider, with a more sweeping curve, so hopefully some bigger locos can be used. But you can see from here, new track from the start all the way through, and also some new points as well. This is a new point as well. This was due to again, connection issue where there wasn't any power being picked up, so that's been changed. The point going off to the Langley branch is the same, it's still original. New walkways across, which have been made out of the famous old lollipop sticks, and also some ratio barrow crossings as well. If we move back a little bit, you can see a resin relay box, which isn't exactly the same as what they use on the Bluebell, but a similar thing, and also it's money as well at the time. I haven't got a lot of money to update this these days, so I had to budget what I could afford. You can also see some fake Pico point motors on the side as well. Down here you can see I put some drain catch pits in. I think these are from Railway Scenics or Model Railway Scenics. Round this way next to the O1 I've also put some speed limit signs up. There's one there and one there, but the track has been relayed with nickel silver Pico Flexi all the way through, also down here as well. I haven't done track or platform 1 This was due to a bit of trouble getting the access around the side there. May do it in the future, but you never know. So yes, all the way up, and I have to squeeze down the side here to get down the other end. So yeah, again, new barrow crossing or foot crossing this side. Another new point, as this one had failed as well and broken. And also another new point all the way down here, because that one had broken as well. And that has also got a new point motor under it, because the other one had also failed. I believe a coil had broken on one of the seep motors. So that's been replaced as well. Again, you can see relay boxes dotted around there and there, and more drainage catch pits as well. Still a little bit of work to do. You can see I've sort of weathered down areas where locos would sit, so it looks a bit dark and oily and grubby. So that's come out alright. And the good thing is I've now plugged all the electrics in, and it actually works, which is a nice surprise. So hopefully, if it's dry tomorrow, I might be able to run something. Going on to the electronics and controls, etc. I've now changed from my old Gauge Master unit over here, which was a bit down on power on track 1. This was due to a potentiometer change because it failed. I've now changed from this. That's just running the points at the moment. So running the 16 volt supply to the CDU, which powers the points. All the points on this layout are SEEP PM 1s or 2s without the switch, because I have install frogs on this layout, so it's not so important for me, because I usually put lots of pickups on the locomotives. So I've switched from the Gauge Master unit, which is the Series DF, and I've moved on to one of these, which is a Morley controller, and quite handy for me with videos and things if I do any more. I have a handheld controller as well, or two handheld controllers I should say, but it works slightly differently with the middle being off. That's one way and that's the other way. Bit of a pain in the arse and a little bit difficult to teach your brain to do something different compared to the Gauge Master unit, but it runs well, it works well, and it's a nicely built unit and also made in the UK, so even better. This unit has a CDU already in it for points. I have heard it's a little bit underpowered, so that's why I've stuck to the Gauge Master unit without changing all the plumbing and the wires, which will get a little bit complex, and I'd rather have something that works rather than causes me problems. So it has a 16 volt outlet on the back, as well as a 12, which is plugged into my wheel cleaning device. So yeah, that's new and that works very nicely, which you can see up here with the O1. Hopefully I go the right way. No, wrong way. So yeah, that works very nicely, and as you can see, the running on the layout is slightly better now. In fact, the track has changed. No rust on it anymore, and runs nicely and smoothly. Because I've got a flat on that tyre somewhere, but yeah, it runs very nicely and works quite well. Other updates and changes I'll show in another little bit in a second. So something I've wanted to do for a little while is change the station lighting on the layout, as it wasn't really correct for what was actually there, and some of the lamps and lamp posts were in the wrong place. So what I've done is I've been sent something from a friend of mine on the Isle of Wight, where I live these days, of an article or a write-up on how to basically put LEDs in the ratio plastic kits, which you can see here. There's two in the middle and two down here and another two down this end. I think the original guy or guy's username on various forums is Bullied Boy. I can't actually remember his name off the top of my head, but I have mentioned him in my write-up of how to do one of these. These are quite tricky to do. They're using little surface mount LEDs, which you can possibly just see in there if I zoom in a little bit. And there basically it's a drilled out lampshade with the LED stuck inside using some liquid poly. Then what I generally do, you can probably see it on this one best if it focuses on the right area, or maybe not. You can see the wires coming up the lampshade and going down the side. This one's probably one of the worst ones I have actually done, but on the others, this was probably one of the better ones. I've actually scraped out a groove and put the wires down into the actual post, which does weaken the post slightly, but with the liquid poly melting the plastic you can sort of smooth it over the top. These were painted with rail match concrete paint, as that's what I could find on the Isle of Wight. So all of these are connected and are working. Not at the moment because it isn't plugged in. This lamppost has been moved where the bench is now, so it's hiding a hole. The one over this platform, the flowers look a bit random in the wrong place, but there's a reason, because it's covering another hole, because that one's moved next to the station name board. The other two are in the same place. They're all running off, I think it's about a 5 or 6 volt supply. With the resistor in, they're capable of running off 12, so they're not too bright, they're still quite dim, so it's not too bad. But hopefully, once I sort everything out, I'll put some lamps under here as well, under the station canopies. There's still a light in the WH Smith stand, but I'll show you one of the original lights, which is next to the signal box over here. These were from China, very cheap, but they did the job for a while, but I just started to break and fail and lose some connectivity. So these are the new ones, and they look quite good and they work quite well. Sadly, on the station canopies they've seen a bit of war action. When I got back I needed to repair one which had fallen off, and then the rest of them pretty much followed and fell off and broke. They got very, very brittle out here, possibly due to the cold, but I do sort of think it might be due to mazoc rot setting in. I purchased a couple off a friend of mine, David, from Mulberry Works, I think his model site is called. Well worth checking him out. And then promptly after fixing those two near the WH Smith stand, another two broke. That one there, which is missing, and one at the back which I sort of bodged one up from an old another one that fell off. So I'm going to need to fix another one, and I've bought a couple more on eBay which I hope will be here by Tuesday or Wednesday, so I can fit them to it before the photographer comes on Friday. So that was a bit of a pain, not extra work I really needed to do, but never mind, we'll get round there in the end. So that's basically the small update I have. There's nothing else which has really changed on here, so I'll show you a photo or a little video of the lights which are now working. There we go, there's the new lights on those two. Swing round a little bit, you can see the WH Smith stand all lit up, and the other four down this end. I'll give you some more details on the planned publication date of all these articles and things which are due out. So there's one in the latest Railway Magazine Guide to Railway Modelling, which is a free publication from all good model shops. And I think that's basically researching a preserved railway to build. They've got a couple more articles, one which is how to detail locomotives with lamps and various other ways of modifying things, so putting details on it or making bits of it matte black so it looks slightly worn, and various other improvements. So that's another one, and I'm writing another one after that, which is basically doing your own transfers, like this very nice O1 down here, which I've redone recently. And I'm writing it on a P class, so that'll be out soon, hopefully at the end, towards the end of the year. Anyway, I'll let you have a few last look around, and hopefully there'll be some new videos of trains hopefully running very soon, and I'll keep you posted on updates via Twitter, Facebook and various other places. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one.